So one thing I've been thinking about lately is this idea that everything is becoming homogenized. So everything is looking similar to each other. People are dressing the same. This whole concept of iPhone face. Everyone's face is looking the same because everybody's getting the same surgeries and posing the same way for pictures. This idea kind of sparked into my head because of a video I was watching by Jordan Teresa called iPhone Face, the Personal Style Crisis, and the Digital Divide. Her video is great. Go watch it or listen to it. I feel like she touched on a lot of good points. Pretty early on in the video, she says, everything is beginning to look the same. Everyone is beginning to dress the same, referring to these online spaces that one occupies, like her. And she says she is coming at it from a self-critical lens, understanding her place in all of this that she is criticizing. She does go on to talk about algorithms and how a handful of men control these online spaces that we occupy. And she also does very briefly mention capitalism having an effect. But I guess it's been on my brain. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm seeing some through lines that I kind of wanted to talk through. So, yes, she mentions that algorithms are part of the reason why things are looking the same, why people are becoming fatigued and bored being online. And yeah, algorithms are a wild thing. This is also, yes, directly linked into capitalism because, okay, let's say that there's a standard. This standard that has been kind of set up and communicated through images, both online and in magazines and stuff like this. Basically, since that is the collective agreed upon standard, it basically becomes a blank slate because everything is homogenized. So, for example, I wouldn't fit the description of someone who has an iPhone face. I have gaps in my teeth and this nose ring, for example. So if you imagine this as like a canvas, my nose ring and my crooked, or unperfect teeth would be like two fingers poking into that canvas on the back of a canvas. Like imagine a canvas, you have your finger on the back of it and then you push, and then there's these 2 points that are pushing out from the back of the canvas, and that creates a bumpier surface. So if somebody doesn't have anything that deviates from that standard, it creates a blank slate for people to project onto, but also for brands to project onto. I find it concerning that there is a big group of people that feel like everyone is starting to look the same because it's by design. Algorithms, they're pushing what they want you to see. Yes, you do have a say, but you have to be pretty explicit. For example, my YouTube channel, I have a lot of commentary channels that are recommended to me, and there's sometimes where I don't want to watch a commentary video or listen to a commentary video, so I have to actively go out of my way to find that. So basically, if you feel like things are looking the same, everybody's starting to look the same, I have advice for you. And Jordan mentions this in her video too. Get offline. Go offline more. I feel that when I first heard about this whole iPhone face thing, I didn't understand it. I never had this thought that people are starting to look similarly to each other, because I don't interact with content that would feed me that. So number one, go offline more, because if you go out to your local Walmart, you wouldn't know what iPhone face was either. You wouldn't understand that term because so many people do look different and unique and not like an IG model. And I just think it's a very interesting but concerning thing that there is a big group of people who feel that way, because that's telling me that they are spending more times on their phone than they are in real life. Go to a school, go to a church, go to the mall. iPhone face isn't a thing. Okay, so I think a big part of it is when you are online, you must be intentional about it. So when I used Instagram, I went out of my way to find accounts that brought me different perspectives from people who didn't look like me, from people who lived different lives than I do. I had to go out of my way to do that, or else, whatever I interact with, it's just going to keep feeding me that same thing. So of course your timeline is going to become homogenized because you keep interacting with the same stuff over and over and over again. Like, look for content by other people, look for entertainment from other people, or do what I do and browse Arena. Arena doesn't use algorithms. There's no ads. It's free up to a certain point and then you have to start paying. But for me, I'm like, I'd rather pay $35 a year, whatever it is, for the student plan, and not get any ads. Because on Instagram, when I used to have Instagram, probably about half of what I looked at was ads or sponsored content, or at least somebody trying to sell me something. And I was bored of that. So even if, you curate your algorithm and go out of your way to like find stuff that you want to look at, you're still going to get ads served to you no matter what. Go offline. When you are online, be more intentional. And if you do not know what you want to see, like what would entertain you online outside of what is already being served to you that's boring you, I need you to sit down with yourself for just like 10 minutes and like just be with yourself and like with nothing. I'm learning more and more to work on things without entertainment on in the background, like something that I'm just digesting, like subconsciously. I'm not even giving my full attention to it, and therefore cannot give my full attention to whatever work I'm trying to get done. It is hard to do when you first start doing it, but like it's worth it. Your brain is gonna like learn how to not be bored so quickly. The other thing about this is, this has been a discussion that has come up online, and it's like one thing that has seemingly been born from the internet. iPhone face. I keep going back to this example. I would argue that these types of things have always existed. They just weren't online. So it wasn't called iPhone face because iPhones didn't exist yet. For example, sororities or like fraternities. If you look at a normal, regular sorority group, everybody looks very similar. And that is a modern example, but like even before the internet and memes and meme culture, people who were in certain social groups tended to look the same. It is homogenous looking. And you can even think about royalty, right? Like French monarchies sustained themselves and their power by, via incest. So that's basically homogenization to like the nth degree, right? Like that's really, can't get more homogenized than that. It's almost like people enjoy being within an in group and they don't want to be a part of the out group. So when there are certain trends being picked up in that collective, when there are certain activities being done, certain ways of being, and then obviously certain ways of dressing, that is adapted by the collective, the individual will follow. This also has a lot to do with authoritarianism, homogenization, the world getting more boring, and color is being left out of the world more often than it was in the past. Like these issues, I don't think it's any coincidence, I guess, that we are seeing this parallel kind of take over online and online spaces. which is an extension of real life, not the other way around. Online isn't real life. Real life is real life, and then online is an extension of that. I would argue that authority requires unity within a people in order to maintain that authority. So, for example, if you think about 1930s Germany, do you remember whenever you learned about World War II in school, how those people looked, like the people in Germany who were doing the stuff, how they looked? What images come to mind? For me, the uniform and the images of the salute and everybody like in lines, like perfectly in lines, doing that salute in unison. So this is a form of control. Even if people willingly do it, are larger movements at play that are, again, affecting the individual to do certain things. Another example of this, homogenization, is looking at any images of right-wing parties. What do those people look like? It's just like how that group calls the left a bunch of people with blue hair, because to them, that group is also homogenized. And it's also not a coincidence that this is all happening as well during a time when diversity as a concept is under attack. Because it's either you're in the in group or you're in the out group. And most people do not want to be in the out group because that can be used as a tool by the person who is authoritarian figure, aka the oppressor. So, who's texting me? I think it's really important that we resist this homogenization. If you feel that you are feeling bored and you feel like everyone is looking the same, I just encourage you to spend less time on your phone. That's the number one thing. And to interact with real life people and be online intentionally, and not just scrolling whatever is being fed to you, because I can guarantee you it's not authentic. And we must remember that this online space is an extension of the real world. And if we allow the online world to become primary to real life, we're gonna lose sight of who we are. So, all right, thanks for listening.